was there any real thought of paying Deontay a step aside? And are you disappointed?
No.
You want all the money.
I pay him in ass whoopings.
All right.
Ass whoopings is what I pay him.
Okay. After you beat a guy, like you beat him last time, first time, does that make him more dangerous or less?
Do you know, I think he's going to give it a good roll of the dice. This is his last hurrah. I've got his heart, his soul, his mojo, everything of Deontay Wilder. Any bit of substance of Deontay Wilder, I've got it right here in my pocket. I carry it around with me for the last 18 months.
You have his soul.
This guy is a glutton for punishment. He's an idiot. He got absolutely dismantled and smashed to bits in our last fight. And he wants that all over again. He was telling people I've cracked his skull, I've injured his shoulder, I've done his bicep. But yet he wants to get in with me again. He's either one or two things, absolutely crazy, or he's a sucker for punishment.
So Tyson Fury cannot figure out why Deontay Wilder, after taking a hellacious beating like that, would want to step into the ring with him again. I must admit that I can't understand it either. Because when this whole arbitration thing came along and everybody said Undisputed was going to be derailed and put on ice, I said that I wasn't worried about it. I think the fight will go ahead. And why did I think that? Because as far as the business sense of it, it makes all the sense in the world for Deontay Wilder to take some step-aside money, get paid great for it, you know, and I'm talking about very handsomely, and it's something that he barely deserves. You can sit back, collect that money, then sit back and go fight the winner and collect some more money. In the end, it's more money taking a step aside money and then fighting the winner than it is going the route that he's going, because you run a risk of losing everything. And plus, Deontay Wilder, right after he got beat like that, you didn't hear a word out of this man. He went completely silent. He went completely dark. All the allegations and all the stuff that you hear about Wilder and his fight with Tyson Fury, those was put out by his minions. But Wilder didn't come out to confirm anything. He was very silent. My point of this is, when a person is hell-bent on revenge or getting back their title or something like that, you see the intentions early on. You knew what Anthony Joshua was. You know, you knew what Anthony Joshua was doing early on. He let you know, no, we got to run that back. Even when people advised him not to run it back. No, we got to run that back. Same thing with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Same thing with Conor McGregor currently now and Dustin Poirier. You know that he wants a rematch. You know that he wants to get it back. You know he don't want to move on. Why? Because he's talked about it. Now Deontay Wilder has no problem going to any other social media outlets when he's ready to put out a certain narrative and speak. But he also knows how to disappear and be silent. So that's why his actions show me. And plus, Deontay Wilder was talking about fighting other people. If this was your intent, if that's really how you felt, if revenge is this, if revenge is that, you always should have been talking about getting back at Fury. You never should have entertained fighting anybody else or who you're going to fight. You seen him up on interviews talking about, yeah, I could fight this person next. Yeah, I could fight this person next. There was no guile. There was no disgust. There was no anger. There was no aggression towards what happened to him to say, no, I don't want nobody but Tyson Fury. He didn't have that posture and he didn't speak like that at all. Okay. Everything about him shows that he didn't want no part of it, just like Fury didn't want no part of it no more. You know, so it made sense to me to think that, nah, it won't be derailed. You know, we'll be fine, you know, because this makes sense. Take that step aside money, take that $20 million, get paid great, sit back and fight the winner. That's easy. That's easy. But that doesn't seem to be the route that they want to take now. And people are like scratching their head like, why? And that's what makes me believe that this is not something that Wilder wanted to do, because his actions and the way he went about it says something totally different from somebody who, you know, wants to get their title back, wants to redeem theirself. The way they talk, speak, and the way they go about it is totally different from what Wilder has displayed. But the interesting thing is, John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, he spoke about this.
At the minute, the American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed from last escapade. Why wouldn't you take a $20 million step aside without fighting and a guaranteed shot at the winner? when you're fighting for a lot less money than $20 million and you're risking getting your skull caved in again. It don't make sense on his part. So obviously, the powers that be in America are involved, aren't they? And they're calling the shots. And they've sort of like trapped both men, haven't they? They've trapped them both. He was fighting AJ. I want him to fight AJ. I have no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder?
Through him again.
The danger point is getting fair play out there. At the minute, the American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed.
Now, he's letting you know that the powers to be, America, is involved in this decision, in this rematch. America wants that belt. That's really what it is. See, I told you guys a long time ago that this was a battle over boxing. British versus America. You've seen how they went out of their way to try to sabotage Anthony Joshua. I'm not just talking about the people that's on YouTube either. You know, I'm talking about this whole side of it. You remember when they held that meeting with all those ex-champions sitting around with Lennox Lewis and all these other people, and they sit up there trashing Anthony Joshua, saying, why is the fight not happening? Then this is that. You had Evander Holyfield up there, and this is that. You remember all that? They had a whole meeting of old ex-American boxing legends to try to shame or destroy the character of Anthony Joshua. If you don't remember it, go look it up on YouTube. This has always been a struggle over who's going to run boxing, UK or America. And the reason why America is reaching like this is because, like I told you before in the video that I made a year ago, I believe it's called A State of Emergency, and I brung up the fact that you have nobody to replace anybody in America. Who replaces Deontay Wilder? If he steps down, retires, who do we got to replace him? Nobody. He wasn't a good replacement himself. He was what we were left with. That's what people don't understand about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is what you was left with. He's the best of what we had, which was virtually nobody. There's nobody to take the place or to take the shine or to take the mantle of what they've currently built into Deontay Wilder. There's nobody in America that can do it. So they know once those belts go overseas, they're not coming back, because America has no interest in boxing like other countries do, and especially like the UK. Okay? And for the same reason, Anthony Joshua is so hell-bent on getting the WBC belt, because all those other belts is great and good. But everybody knows that's not completed, doesn't mean anything, unfortunately, if you don't have the WBC. Unfortunately. That's why I say, right after Anthony Joshua achieves undisputed, we need to throw the WBC away. It's no more about belts, because we can't play this game. Okay? It's obviously from the industry, the boxing industry, undisputed is obviously it's not that lucrative. It's more good for the business of boxing for those belts to be split up and not be held in the hands of all of one person. You can see that now. But this is why Tyson Fury can't understand why they want to fight. And this is why I thought that everything was going to be all right. There is something else into play. Now, John's Fury main concern is, he said there's too much going on now for him to not to consider that they're going to pull some shit on Tyson Fury. Because in Tyson Fury's father's eyes, this is a belt that they have to get back. If they don't, they're going to lose out on the sweepstakes. Because there's no guarantee that Anthony Joshua has to fight Deontay Wilder. I believe he will just cause, but they know with the belt, they can't demand more. But that's what you get for playing around so much. You know? So there's more things going on with Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury that meets the eye. Okay? There's something going on behind the scenes. They want Deontay Wilder to fight for this belt again. And how John Fury looks at it, the fact that they want to put that man in there when they know he's probably not all the way put together, they got something up their sleeve for Tyson Fury. And if you remember Tyson Fury when he first announcing that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder for the first time. Tyson Fury, main thing that he always said, I'm going to go to America, even though a lot of people told him don't do it. He said, look, I just want a fair shake. That's it. I just want a fair shake. I just want fair judges. I just want fair judges. He was saying that the whole time in the first fight. I just want fair judges. I just want fair judges. We all know that they robbed Tyson Fury in that first fight. We all know it.
The danger point is getting fair play out there. At the minute, the American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed